And good morning. Another hot day across South Central Texas. It is a pretty day out there, but it is going to be a hot one. And you know, yesterday we hit 97. Today we're going to hit 97 as well. But the difference is, and you probably can tell, the humidity is up. And so heat index values today will be around 102, 103, something like that. Before we get to the heat, though, I want to talk about hurricane season. Making sure the mic works. Yeah. Talk about hurricane season. This just came out from NOAA. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration hurricane outlook for 2025. They're saying there's going to be somewhere between 13 and 19 storms, which would be just a little bit around normal or above normal. Hurricanes 6 to 10, major hurricanes 3 to 5. So it looks like they're expecting just a little bit above normal hurricane season. And you know, here in South Central Texas, hurricanes, they can impact us, that is for sure. All right, outside right now it is 85 degrees. I'm sure at the noon hour it'll be around 88. The low temperature this morning, 9 degrees. You know, it just seems like we're always above average. And that tends to happen when we have below normal rainfall, and we're definitely below normal. Record low is 50, and the record high, 100, set back in 1939. If there's any good news here, it's that I don't think we'll hit the record, but it is going to be hot. High right around 97 degrees. If you've got anything planned this evening, temperatures will be in the 90s. Let's take a closer look at some of these temperatures around the area. We're sitting in the mid-80s at 85, Bernie's at 84, Hondo 87, Gonzales, Floresville, and Pleasanton all close to 90 already. And looking at the dew points, here's the real difference. Notice the dew points, they're in the 70s. When we looked at this yesterday, dew points were in the 50s. And so that's why the heat index wasn't that much above normal, actually, or above the air temperature. It was right at what the air temperature is. Let's take a look at what I'm expecting across the nation. Now, if you want to cool down, the place to go is up in the northern plain states. Amazingly cool up there. Bismarck, 60 degrees, that's it for a high. Minneapolis, St. Paul at about 66. Omaha, Nebraska, 66 degrees. Dallas, Fort Worth will be around 90, and our high temperature, 97. Now, if you look closely, let me see if I can zoom in here. No, I can't. You'll see isolated showers and thunder showers. I'm going to show you this graphically a little bit better. We're going to get a close-up here. I'm expecting, not a lot, but a couple of thunderstorms to develop this afternoon, maybe about a 20% coverage this afternoon and this evening. The cap is really mild, not very strong cap, and we'll have daytime heating, and that should do the trick. Okay, Friday, I'm not expecting any rainfall. Saturday, but Sunday, maybe a hit and miss, 10% chance, 20%, that's about it. But here's where things change. Frontal boundary is going to come in on Memorial Day. And some of those thunderstorms, they could be strong on Memorial Day with some hail and some gusty winds with that frontal boundary, because it is going to be pretty warm for Memorial Day before those storms move in. And then that front's going to be close to us on Tuesday and Wednesday with some weak disturbances. And so we're going to have some chances for rain. Matter of fact, I think from around the 25th through the last day of the month, we should pick up an inch or two, and some places picking up about 2 inches, and we need it because we are just running so far behind on rainfall. Let's see, Aurora says, thanks, Paul, especially informed about NOAA prediction. Yes, Aurora, thank you for streaming with us. We really, really appreciate it. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. This is just one computer model, but it's a pretty good one. 97 for a high, and then I think some thunderstorms will develop primarily in the hill country, but they may affect us. And a few of those could even drift in the early morning hours. It's not a great possibility, but that's why I'm giving it a 20% chance. And let's take a look at the heat index values over the next several days. Heat index values right there, about 101 to 104, somewhere in that range. And the aquifer is just doing horrible. I believe we're at 622.9, something like that. We're in some rare territory with that aquifer. If we get below 620, that is extremely rare. Okay, here's your 14-day forecast. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I've made those all KENS 5 weather impact alert days. For the next several days, the reason being the heat. This time of the year, when you have heat index values over 100, it's pretty excessive for this time of the year. So just take it easy out there in the heat. 20% chance of a thunder shower this afternoon and evening, and then breezy conditions on Saturday. Memorial Day weekend is going to be hot. Sunday, maybe a 10% chance of a thunderstorm, 60% chance, so I'll bump that up on Monday. I think it's looking pretty likely, and some of those downpours could be heavy. That's why that's an impact day to go along with the heat. And then about a 30% chance of showers and storms the 27th, 28th, and a 20% chance, 29, 30, 31, and 1. So it looks like we're going to get into a pattern change. It's going to be very conducive to at least some afternoon showers and storms, and high temperatures a few days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right around midweek, highs in the upper 80s, so you cannot beat that. All right, make sure and watch us at noon, 4, 5, 6, and 10, and I'll be, actually I won't be around tomorrow morning, but anyway, we appreciate you streaming with us, and we will see you later.